If you liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. This video is going over the Imperial Knight Index update that was released June 18th, 2025. This update has made changes to all the Knights profiles from the big Knights all the way down to our smaller Armiger Knights. With these changes came a new points cost for the Imperial Knights and the Chaos Knights. It seems we will not be getting our codex for a little while longer. For now, GW has updated the Imperial Knights along with the Chaos Knights and the codex released with it. The big profile change that hit the Chaos Knights is now upon the Imperial Knights. I was going to wait until the codex before pushing some Imperial Knight content. These changes with the profiles and points opens up a lot more list building. These changes allow Imperial Knights more options when building a list. Let's talk about the elephant in the room first, the toughness change. As we can see here, Canis Rex went from movement 10, toughness 12 with a 3-up save, 22 wounds, 5 leadership and OC of 10. His new data sheet is movement 10, toughness 11, 3-up save, 26 wounds, 5-up leadership and OC of 10. It looks like all the Imperial Knight Questores pattern knights have gone from toughness 12 to toughness 11, but have gained a few wounds with that change. This change does make them weaker to a lot more weapon types in the game. Strength 12 wounds on a 3+ now. The strength 6 weapons out there will be wounding Questores on a 5+ instead of a 6+ now. Those Questores Knights go from Canis Rex to the Knight Preceptor to the Knight Gallant and onwards. Any of the Questores patterns are now down to toughness 11 instead of toughness 12. What about the Dominus pattern of Imperial Knights? They also took a hit to their save and toughness, going from a tanky toughness 13 with a 2-up save and a 5+ invulnerable to ranged attacks. Now they're sitting at the old Questores profile of toughness 12, 3-up save with a 5+ invulnerable to ranged attacks. Now las cannons wound them on a 4+, they'll still be very tanky towards strength 6 and anything under. The 3+ save will cause them to fail a bit more small arms fire though. The extra wounds should make up for that. As we can see here, the new Knight Castellan and Knight Valiant has gone from toughness 13 to toughness 12 and now have 3-up saves instead of those 2-up save. 28 wounds does make these Dominus Knights quite chunky though. What about our Forge World Knights? Were they spared? Nope, they were hit the same as the Index Codex Imperial Knights. Their big Knights took the same toughness and save nerfs. From the Cerastus Knight Lancer, the Castigator, the Atropos, all of these have seen the same nerfs as the Index Imperial Knights. The Armigers have seen the same kind of change, lower toughness with more total wounds. This is going to be a painful one. Going from toughness 10 to toughness 9 is a big breakpoint. Not a big difference with the last cannons and such. Melta weapons wounding on a 4+ is scary. Heavy bolter profiles at strength 5, damage 2 will be much more viable into these small knights. That's Imperial or the Chaos Knights. The Forge World Armiger was nerfed in the same way as well. The Armigers are now movement 12, toughness 9 instead of toughness 10, with a 3-up save, 14 wounds instead of 12 wounds, 7 leadership, and an OC of 6. I do believe the OC has gone down a little bit as well. This used to be OC 8. I'm just starting my full Imperial Knights army journey. Some Imperial Knight players may spot something, but it seems the rest of the datasheet has not been changed for the Imperial Knights. The weapon profiles, abilities, keywords, and etc. are all the same. Now, with all those overall survivability nerfs, we did get some sizable point cuts to the big Knights. The Armigers have stayed the same point cost. These big Knights have dropped some significant points. These points cuts are downright huge. Only 3 models didn't get a points cut. The 2 Index Halverns and 1 of the Forge World Knights. Feel free to pause the video here to take a look at your favorite Knights or the Knights in your collection and just see how much points they have truly dropped. I want to highlight a few of those big point changes. First, Canis Rex dropping to 380 is huge for other Imperial factions. They can now take a big stompy Canis Rex for 380 points. He dropped a big 70 points, going from 440 points to 330 points. We also have the Knight Castellan, a big old gun platform. It has dropped from 510 points to 395, a huge 115 point drop. He might make more appearances in Imperial Knights lists now. He also will make a great knight for Imperial factions lacking ranged anti-tank. I'm looking at you Grey Knights or Imperial agents. The next one, I'm interested for my own personal list I've written here. The Knight Warden, no, not a damage powerhouse. It is the bondsman ability that I want. Warden's duty, while the model is affected by this ability, each time attack is allocated to that model, subtract 1 from the damage of that attack. Then I add the Mythic Hero enhancement from the Noble Lance detachment to allow this Warden to use Warden's Duty on 2 different armigers. That Knight Warden has dropped from 450 points to 365 points, a big 85 point drop. We did drop in some toughness, but we dropped a huge amount of points. I think the overall survivability of the army is going to be higher since we can fit a lot more things in our list now. We did lose that toughness, went from a 2+ save to a 3+ save on our Dominus. I still think overall we came out on top with this update. While the Little Knight did not get any cheaper, the Big Knights going down is going to allow us to fit either more armigers or more Big Knights in our list. We can also fit 3 Big Knights and a bunch of Small Knights quite easily now. The 3 Big Knights could be throwing 3 different Bosman abilities on these armigers. It could open up some more play for combining the Knight abilities with the armigers. These changes really stokes the fire in my heart for list building. I think I have covered the overall changes and what will come with these changes to the Imperial Knights. With all my talk about how much I enjoy list building, did I build any lists for this video? Of course I did. I have 2 1000 point lists and 2 2000 point lists. The 1k lists are similar but each has a different warlord, while the 2k list, one has the 3 big knights and 6 smaller knights, while the second is a armiger spam list. On to some lists for the Imperial Knights. I did not include the Custodes Assassin in any of these lists, but if you want you can move these points around, maybe drop one of these small knights to fit the Custodes if you want the Custodes in your list. For now, let's go over our 2 1000 point lists. Our first list comes to 995 points. My warlord was Canis Rex. I did have 2 armiger Helverins with the autocannons and the Questoris Stubbers, 3 warglaives with the Melta Gun, thermal spears, and the Reaper Chaincleaver. For an allied unit, I do have Watch Captain Artemis to stand on my home objective to allow the rest of my army to push forward in this 1000 point game. The second list also comes to 995 points. My warlord this time is the Knight Warden with the Mythic Hero, with the Avenger Gatling Cannon, Storm Spear Rocket Pod, Thunderstrike Gauntlet, and all the other toys that come with it. The battle line this time is 2 armiger Helverins and 2 armiger warglaives. Once again for the allied unit, I do have Watch Captain Artemis to stand on my home objective. On to the 2000 point list, we are using the Noble Lance detachments for all of these lists. Our first list, the Big Knights list, it comes to 1985 points. My warlord is Canis Rex. For the other characters in the list, we do have a Cerasus Knight Lancer with the Banner of the Triumphant to give him sticky objectives. Then I have the Knight Warden with the Mythic Hero enhancement, allowing him to put that Bondsman ability on 2 different armigers, Thunderstrike Gauntlet, Storm Spear Rocket Pod, Avenger Gatling Cannon, and all the other guns that come with it. For the battle line, I do have 2 armiger Helverins with the armiger autocannons and a Melta Gun on these ones. 4 warglaives with the Melta Gun, Thermal Spear, and Reaper Chaincleaver. And that's my 2000 point Noble Lance list. It comes to 1985 points. My last Noble Lance list, this one's called Big and Little Brothers. My warlord is that Knight Warden with the Mythic Hero again, kitted out the same way as all the other ones. Other characters, I do have that Cerasus Knight Lancer with the Sticky Objective Enhancement, battle line, 4 armiger Helverins, and 5 armiger warglaives. That's why I've named this list Big and Little Brothers, because we got 2 big brothers and 9 little brothers. We could drop the Big Knight to fit some more armigers, but I want to try something different. A Knight Warden, a Knight Lancer, and some small little knights running around. So that's my list. It comes to 2000 points. Let's move on to some final thoughts. The Imperial Knights are still new to me. I hope I covered all the changes to the Imperial Knights from this June 2025 index update, and hopefully these lists aren't too crazy looking for my first list for the Imperial Knights. The Imperial Knights Codex will be out later this year. Seems it's not quite done cooking. If you are an Imperial Knights player, like and subscribe. Let's build the Knights into a known Hubtown Hammer faction. What would the Imperial Knight players watching like to see for the Imperial Knights videos in the future? Throw it down in the comments what you would like to see. Which knight would you all like to see a deep dive on first? Subscribe for weekly battle reports, list videos, and other Warhammer 40K content. Like always, thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by.